Hello, friends. Coffee time is long from over, and most everybody is already after lunch and probably not going to get viewed a whole lot because I know how people are on Fridays and everybody's thinking about the weekend and nobody's looking at TikTok anymore. It's, Friday morning stuff. Everybody's already thinking about what they're going to be binging on Netflix this weekend. But around, around this time, the moon is moved into some of the later degrees of Cancer, even into the third decan. 20 degrees, right? 20 degrees and over is the third set here, and it moving into a square with Chiron in Aries, and Chiron's retrograde. So we're dealing with those things about. Like, do you think you can get this thing going? Do you think you can get this thing rolling? Do you think you can start this thing? Do you have enough energy to start it? Do you have the idea to start? Do you know what direction? Because Mars is also moving closer to Jupiter too, right? And it's, again, in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury's slowing down. So there's probably, you're expecting more things to click, and nothing may be clicking here. You may have to go at something, five different ways. And the Mercury retrograde is probably going to create, because it's going to be in Virgo, moving back into Leo. There's going to be a recreation or an unmaking, I think, of processes, right? Of unmaking parts of your life. And really, were you not trying to do that anyway? So I guess I'm gonna keep this really short. The new moon in Leo is going to be at 12 degrees of Leo, and Mercury, it's going to be right there as Mercury goes retrograde, and so there's going to be a lot of that energy of thought and emotion and creation and life and energy and children, and there's a lot of stuff, and it may look like it's all coming completely apart, and you have to draw the line, right? Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces, it's probably harder to draw those lines than it has been. You're like, or you may see where the lines are, and they're not where you wanted them to be. So use that Mars in Gemini. Use that, his closing in with Jupiter, and create those lines, draw those lines, because Mars has got that arrow, right? You use him to draw those lines in the sand. And Gemini doesn't have to be much, right? It doesn't have to be very deep. It's typically fast and quick, and changes and decisions, and is this like me? Do I like that? Yes or no? And a lot of people have trouble with that kind of thing. You're just making, you think you may not have trouble making basic decisions, but you do, right? So use that fire, use that energy to create a new way. That way you can keep moving forward. It's not going to look the way you want it to start off with anyway. So you might as well just start, and you didn't burn dinner, but it may not be looking the way you thought it was going to. Add some more water to it, throw some more butter in it, add some salt, throw some other spices at it. Like, oh, okay, instead of having this with rice, we're going to have this with bread because I don't have any rice. And oh, look, I burned the rice. You may be, okay, cool. We got noodles. Noodles are fast. So, like, oh, well, we've never had this with noodles before. New things, right? New things in an old way, old things in a new way. Maybe that's part of the process, and I will let you go about your Friday.